Chapter 31 Fifth Level of Battle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 31, Fifth Level of Battle. When the king of Tai saw the five-colored divine monkey, his jaw almost dropped to the ground. Read, this five-colored divine monkey is an ancient divine creature. He had only seen it in ancient books before, and he could not see it in reality. The king of Tai was shocked, and a small golden fish appeared in his sight at the bottom of the lake. At this time, the voice of Prime Minister Tai reached the king's heart. I didn't expect the owner of this place to be so leisurely, and even raised such a small fish. In my spare time, I think I can kill time with a little fish. No, Prime Minister, you are wrong, that is not an ornamental fish. Taiwan Novel Network Yellow G. Shenyang. The king of Tai was shocked and shivered all over. Look carefully, that is the swallowing sky Xuanhuan. What? It turned out to be the swallowing sky Xuanhuan. Didn't the sky-swallowing Xuanhuan become extinct in the ancient times? How come it still exists here? The sky-swallowing Xuanhuan, as the name suggests, is a mythical beast that can swallow the sky. This is not an exaggeration. According to the ancient books of Tai sect, in ancient times, this sky-swallowing Xuanhuan had great magical powers and its body length could reach hundreds of millions of miles. It can completely swallow a small piece of heaven and earth. However, it is precisely because this kind of mythical beast is too powerful that it is said that in the ancient war, all of them were wiped out by cultivators. The two Tai kings never expected it. In the 10,000 mountains, there are actually mythical beasts recorded in ancient books. Although the sky-swallowing Xuanhuan in front of them is still in its infancy, its strength will not be lower than the War King realm. While the two were shocked, the woman transformed by the firebird. Phoenix said faintly, "The master has been waiting in front for a long time, please go over." After saying this, the firebird continued to lead the way. Hearing this, the Tai king and the prime minister could only suppress their shock and continue to follow. After a while, the firebird led the two away and walked to a pavilion. In the pavilion, Yi Fan, wearing a white jade Taoist robe, sat leisurely on a stone bench. Seeing Yi Fan in the pavilion, the Tai king could not help but look at the prime minister. Both of them saw deep shock in each other's eyes. Yi Fan just sat casually in the pavilion without emitting any spiritual fluctuations, but even so, the two still felt a sense of Wang Yang's pressure, surging towards them like a tide. The Tai king and the others did not doubt at all that Yi Fan could kill them here with a flip of his hand. Then, the Lord of Tai took the initiative to step forward, bowed and said to Yi Fan, "Hello, fellow Taoist." The Prime Minister of Tai then said, "Greetings, Senior." Hearing what the two said, Yi Fan smiled slightly, waved his hand and said, "No need to be polite, sit down and taste my newly developed tea." Hearing this, the Lord of Tai and the other sat down in front of Yi Fan. Yi Fan conjured up two teacups out of thin air and placed them in front of the Lord of Tai and the other. Then, he picked up the teapot and poured a cup of tea into the two cups. "You two have come from afar to see me, is there something wrong?" Yi Fan asked indifferently. The Lord of Tai said, "You are too polite. We came all the way from Zhongzhou to Donghuang just to thank you in person. Before in Tianjin, thanks to you, we saved two War King monks from Tai." Yi Fan took a sip of tea and replied calmly, "It's just a small favor. Besides, I just want to save my descendants. Fellow Taoist, no matter what, you have done a favor to my Tai dynasty. As the Lord of Tai, I must thank you." Lord of Tai said. After a pause, Lord of Tai continued, "Fellow Taoist, my Tai kingdom will hold a banquet in a few months. I hope you can come then." Yi Fan ignored him and asked, "Where is Tai kingdom?" "To answer your question, the Tai kingdom is in Beizhou." Prime Minister Tai replied. Yi Fan said, "Oh. Have you heard of the Great Shang dynasty?" The Tai king thought for a moment, and then said, "The Great Shang dynasty seems to be the most powerful dynasty in the northern province tens of thousands of years ago, but now the Great Shang dynasty has lost its talents and has declined. But I heard that recently, there was another innate thunder spirit root in the Great Shang dynasty, which is extraordinary." The Prime Minister Tai on the side also echoed, "Yes, but now the Great Shang dynasty has been attached to the Great Xia dynasty. Now that the Great Shang has such a genius, I am afraid that it will be coveted by the Xia kingdom." Yi Fan remained calm and asked, "Great Xia? Is it very strong? Dao Yu, Great Xia is indeed very strong. Its king is the same as you, and is also in the realm of war candidates. Moreover, they have a guest elder, who is the deputy sect master of the Taiyan Holy Land in Zhongzhou, and is in the third realm of war candidates. The Tai king replied. Not bad, Yi Fan sneered again and again. He dared to call himself strong in the third realm of war candidates. He didn't take him seriously at all. Xia Kingdom. If you dare to touch my descendants, I will kill them. Yi Fan thought to himself, yes, De Shang was indeed a force built by Yi Fan more than 10,000 years ago, but at that time, Yi Fan was only interested in completing the system task. After establishing the Shang Kingdom, he hurriedly passed the throne to a general. After so many years, it is normal for De Shang to decline. It is also my fault for being careless. I should have left the inheritance skills to General Zhou. Yi Fan thought to himself. In that case, I'll go to the Tai feast. Yi Fan said to the Tai king. Then I'll be waiting for you, fellow Taoist. Tai king replied happily. At this moment, a golden line suddenly appeared above the pavilion, the golden thread cut a hole in the air from left to right, then, a vast magical pressure emanated from the hole, a warrior wearing golden chain mail came out from inside with a spear in hand. Feeling such a vast magical pressure, the faces of Tai King and the Prime Minister changed drastically. This is the war-waiting realm. Just as Tai King and the other two were shocked, the warrior wearing chain mail teleported in front of everyone. He followed the aura of Budao and others all the way here. Thief, it turns out that you killed my people in the Branch Alliance. Dijuan held a spear and questioned Yi Fan. Seeing the situation getting tense, the Lord of Tai laughed awkwardly. Fellow Taoist, we can discuss it. Why don't you sit down and have a cup of tea after coming here from afar? The Lord of Tai was met with a cold shoulder. Dijuan said coldly, a mere junior of the first level of the battle preparation is also qualified to drink tea with me. Boom. 5 lightning bolts fell from the sky and gathered behind Dijuan, then, a solemn Dharma image unfolded behind him. Hiss. It's actually the 5th level of the battle preparation. Lord of Tai took a breath of cold air. Lord of Tai was only the 1st level of the battle preparation, and the general in front of him actually reached the 5th level of the battle preparation. No wonder Lord of Tai felt the pressure released by the man just now. He couldn't raise the slightest resistance. Chapter 32 King. Are you okay? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 32 The King. Are you okay? Does a dog-like thing deserve to drink tea with me? Dijuan said coldly. After hearing the words of Lord D, the face of Lord Tai immediately fell. You know, he is the leader of Tai dynasty. Now you are being insulted by someone for being a dog. This is simply a shame. If you don't drink a toast, you'll have to drink wine as a penalty. So what if you wait for the 5th level of battle? I will fight with you. The leader of the Dai kingdom let out a roar and said the following words, the sword of the sun, the moon, the universe. The words just fell. In the distant Beizhou kingdom ancestral temple, a sword that exuded a primitive temperament suddenly sounded a low cry, then, with a swish, the sword cut through time and space and flew towards a certain area in the eastern wasteland at the speed of light. In a moment, a handful of purple brilliance fell into the hands of the Lord of Tai. I saw this sun-moon universe sword. After being completely inspired by the Lord of Tai, densely dense runes are exuding, and the whole body is radiant and surrounded by fairy clouds. Oh, it's still a god-level weapon. It looks like 2 brushes. After a pause, Dijuan sneered coldly, but you are still a dog, and you will soon become a dead dog. Impatient. You think I am the great leader of the Tai dynasty, but you dare to call me a dog. I can't spare you today. The leader of the Tai kingdom said bitterly, facing the 5th level monks who were waiting for war. The reason why the Lord of Tai dared to take action, on the one hand, it was because the leader of Tai kingdom did feel hugely insulted. You know, he is the leader of the Tai dynasty, and he is usually the object of worship by thousands of people. Now someone dared to insult him face to face. How could he swallow this breath? On the other hand, the leader of Tai Kingdom thought that Yi Fan was also here. According to the thoughts of the leader of Tai Kingdom, Yi Fan must be at the second level of war preparation at last. In addition, he is the first level of war preparation, so he has the power to fight against the provocative man in front of him. It is precisely because of these reasons that the leader of Tai Kingdom can take action directly against Xuanhuan. The sun and the moon are upside down, and the world is upside down, that the Lord of Tai, holding the Sun-Moon Universe sword in his hand, let out a loud shout. With the help of god-level weapons, his aura increased to a higher level out of thin air, and at this moment, he had faintly reached the second level of war. The monks who have reached the war-ready state can already do whatever they say. When the Lord of Tai recited the Dharma formula, the shadow of the Dharma form behind him appeared. In front of him, it's actually the shadow of the sun, moon, mountains, and rivers. This is the inheritance of the Lord of Tai Kingdom. When the Sun-Moon Universe sword comes out, it means that the fate of the entire Tai Kingdom is loaded on one person. The mana is vast and the stars are gathered together. Wang Yang's mana fluctuates like a tide, hitting the man in armor. Even if he is a 5th level monk in battle armor, his eyes can't help but light up. Oh, your artifact is indeed good, but the next moment, it becomes mine. Xuanhuan said disdainfully. The next moment, the thunder and lightning form behind Earth Lord suddenly increased in size and surged against the storm. Boom! The Lord of Earth held the dragon-head soap gold gun in his hand, and with just a slight movement toward the Lord of Tai, an astonishing thunder and lightning swept away. The next moment, the leader of Tai Kingdom was like a thunderbolt. The dragon robe he was wearing was instantly transformed into ashes by the power of thunder and lightning and scattered across the world, leaving only the god-level inner armor he was wearing. Due to the effect of thunder and lightning, the sword in the hand of the Lord of Tai was also knocked away and fell to the ground. Whoosh! The man in armor grabbed his big hand in the void and caught the Sun-Moon Universe sword in his hand. I said, this divine sword will appear in my hand the next moment. The armored man continued to mock. The king. Are you okay? Prime Minister Tai hurried to the king and asked anxiously, looking at the leader of Tai Kingdom again. After being hit by Earth Lord's thunder and lightning spell just now, his dragon robe was shattered by thunder and lightning. A flame suddenly ignited, burning his body black. Fortunately, he had god-level inner armor nearby. Otherwise, with just this one blow, he might have been killed directly. The face of the leader of Tai Kingdom was ashen, and his eyes were dim, and he could not see any brilliance. Although the injuries on his body were not serious, he suffered a big blow in his heart. I thought that I would be defeated even if I faced the 5th level monk in battle, but at least with the god-level sword, it might be able to hold on for a while, but he never expected that the man in armor couldn't even hold on for one round. If it weren't for this god-level inner armor, he would probably be dead right now. The 5th level of battle is so terrifying. I lost. The Lord of Tai said dejectedly. You are worthy of wearing a dragon robe. If I eat you, take off your god-level inner armor and offer it to me with both hands. Maybe Grandpa, I am in a good mood and can spare your life. That the Lord of the Earth didn't even look at the Lord of Tai, and pointed his nostrils at him. With a sudden bow of his head, Xuanhuan suddenly discovered Yi Fan, who was already sitting in the pavilion. Seeing Yi Fan still eating the fruit on the stone table, Xuanhuan was slightly shocked. Could it be that this guy is stupid? According to common sense, if a normal person sees an enemy so powerful, he should be so frightened that he runs away. How can he still be as steady as a mountain, sitting upright and eating? The pretty boy in the pavilion opposite, did you kill someone in my alliance before? If you tell the truth, I will give you a happy life. Xuanhuan asked Yi Fan. However, Yi Fan was still eating fruit by himself and turned a deaf ear to Xuanhuan's words. Seeing this, Xuanhuan was furious. You dare to ignore my words. In the past, he was the only one who ignored others, but now he was ignored by others. How could he tolerate this? Okay, I want to see what you are capable of today. Xuanhuan said 3 okays in a row, and his heart was already burning with anger. Then, Xuanhuan picked up the spear in his hand and stabbed it fiercely in the direction of Yi Fan. Boom! Xuanhuan's anger triggered the lightning and thunder behind him. At a certain moment, 5 millstone-like lightning bolts hit Yi Fan directly. the Tai King and the Prime Minister saw that the armored man's attack was so amazing, and they couldn't help but mourn for Yi Fan in their hearts. In their opinion, Yi Fan would definitely not be able to take this attack, and the two seemed to have seen the scene of Yi Fan's death. Facing Dijuan's lightning attack, Yi Fan was still very calm. Just before the lightning was about to hit the pavilion, Yi Fan waved his hand, looking at the 5 lightning bolts that were about to hit the pavilion. They all disappeared like the melting winter snow. Seeing this scene, the Earth Lord almost dropped his jaw to the ground. The full-force attack of the 5th level of the war entrance was actually resolved so easily by the pretty boy in front of him. No, the one who can resolve my thunder attack so easily is definitely not a low-level war entrance cultivator. You are at least the 7th level of the war entrance. But the next moment, the Earth Lord realized that something was wrong. Without hesitation, he conjured up a pill in his hand and swallowed it. He knew in his heart that he was no match for the high-level war entrance cultivator. The only way to survive was to run away quickly. Pop, very quickly, the Earth Lord's figure turned into a residual shadow on the spot. In the sky somewhere in the 10,000 mountains, a figure appeared out of thin air. It was the Earth Lord who burned his blood and ran away. The movement of the 5th level warrior who was running fast with his blood burning was also sensed by many warrior masters in the Eastern Wasteland. It's actually a 5th level warrior. When did such a master appear in our Eastern Wasteland? Master, this 5th level warrior seems to be running away. Just as the warrior masters in the Eastern Wasteland were discussing it, the Lord of the Earth suddenly felt the pressure from behind him, rushing towards him at lightning speed. Chapter 33, Layered Wave Sword Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 33, Overlapping Wave Knife Technique. Dijuan felt the pressure behind him, getting closer and closer to his body. Red, turning around suddenly, he saw a big empty hand condensing behind him. I saw the palm of the void covering the sky and the sun, with a huge momentum. It was as if it was about to tear the world apart, and it was sweeping in with a devastating force. Am I going to die? I'm not willing to give in. The Earth Lord's vision was splitting. He was so desperate for the first time since he was promoted to the Warring Realm. After despair, there is a strong unwillingness. Just as the big hand of the void was about to hit, Earth Lord let out a loud roar, and the thunderous Dharma appeared behind him. He wants to fight to the death. Then, the 5 thunder and lightning signs behind him were launched with all their strength, and they rushed toward the void seal behind him. Under the pressure of this thunder and lightning, power grids were intertwined in the sky. The momentum is amazing. Wherever the thunder and lightning passed, there were cracks in space, but this is still useless. Under Yi Fan's void seal, the Earth Lord is like an ant, which can be easily crushed to death. The 5 rays of thunder and lightning that turned into reality melted away like winter snow as soon as they came into contact with the seal in the air. At a certain moment, under the prying eyes of many powerful spiritual consciousnesses in the East Wasteland, the man wearing chain armor in the air turned into a ball of blood mist and fell on the spot. Seeing this scene, these war-ready experts from the Eastern Wasteland who usually boast of their hearts as still as water, at this moment, it was like being hit hard in the heart by a heavy hammer. You know, that is the power of the 5th heaven. On the other hand, looking at the war preparation realms in their Eastern Wasteland, the strongest ones are only at the 3rd level. Compared to the warring realm of the 5th heaven, the strongest people in the Eastern Wilderness were 2 entire smaller realms behind. Don't underestimate these 2 realms. With every step you take to reach the 9th level, the difficulty of upgrading will increase greatly. As the saying goes, once you enter the war, you are as deep as water, and from now on you are just a passerby. Once your cultivation level reaches the war-ready state, it will become very difficult to improve your cultivation level again. Some people may spend their entire lives but may not be able to take another step forward and reach the 2nd level of war, not to mention the 5th level of war preparation. Hey, the 5th level warrior was actually killed by someone with one move. He died on the spot. Such methods are simply shocking. In the Eastern Wasteland, in the ancient Holy Land, an old man stood on the colorful auspicious clouds. After seeing the scene where the Earth Lord was destroyed just now, he couldn't help but let out a long sigh. The old man is what is called a strong person in the Eastern Wasteland, a monk at the 3rd level of war. At the same time, he is also the Holy Lord of the ancient Holy Land. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I claim to be the strongest person in the Eastern Wasteland. but I can't help but feel shaken even when I look at the void seal from a distance, that the ancient Holy Lord's old face fell down. Fortunately, the big handprint just now was far away, otherwise, now he and the ancient Holy Lord would have to be buried with the man in golden armor. Those who can release such void seals must be at least at the 7th level of war preparation, or a higher level war-ready senior monk. It seems that from now on, the ancient Holy Lord will have to tuck his tail between his legs and become a human being. After all, even the ancient Holy Lord who has lived here for thousands of years cannot understand the current situation in the eastern wasteland. This 5th level warrior is weaker than I thought. It's boring. He can't even catch one of my moves. Somewhere in the eastern wasteland, Yi Fan put away his magical powers, sighed slightly, and continued to eat the fruit on the table. Yi Fan didn't notice that the leader of Tai Kingdom and the Prime Minister beside him were so shocked that they couldn't close their mouths. Thank you, Senior, for helping me again. May I ask, Senior, if you are at the 7th level of war? The leader of Tai Kingdom asked tremblingly. Yi Fan waved his hand and said, it's just a trivial matter. Besides, this person is clearly here for me this time. After a pause, Yi Fan continued, don't just stand there stupidly. Let's eat some fruit and continue talking about Daxia Kingdom. Although Yi Fan did not tell him his realm, the Lord of Tai looked at Yi Fan's calm appearance. I'm even in the mood to peel a banana and eat it. He knew that Yi Fan's cultivation level was at least the 7th level of war preparation. Only in this way can the 5th level Xuanhuan be killed with one move. However, the leader of Tai Kingdom obviously guessed wrong. Yi Fan had reached the 7th level of war preparation a few months ago, just a few days ago, because Xuanhuan broke through the realm of fighting spirit. Therefore, the system directly rewards Yi Fan, who has advanced to the 9th level of battle. Although Yi Fan himself does not practice, he also knows that it is not easy to advance during the war. If he told the changes before and after, Yi Fan was worried that the leader of Tai would vomit blood and die on the spot. After thinking about it, Yi Fan just took care of himself and had no intention of telling the Lord of Tai his true state now. However, the two masters of Tai Kingdom are not fools. Even if Yi Fan doesn't know what to say at this moment, they also vaguely guess something in their hearts. After the Lord of Tai learned that Yi Fan was a high-level monk in the war, his words and deeds became much more restrained. This is the case in the world of cultivation. If two people are at the same level, then maybe they can call themselves brothers again, but if there is too much difference in realm, estrangement will naturally arise. No, not long after the two masters of Tai Kingdom sat down, they stood up and said goodbye. Seeing the sound of the two people leaving, Mark couldn't help but sigh slightly. Yi Fan knew what the two of them were thinking, but he didn't force them to stay. Once you enter the war, it is as deep as the sea, and from now on you will be a passerby. Yi Fan shook his head and began to peel the oranges to eat. Hearing Yi Fan's words, the pets around Yi Fan couldn't help but tremble. It is difficult for other battle candidates to advance, but it is as easy as eating and drinking for their masters to advance. Unlike Yi Fan's indifference, in the distant Beizhou Valley Island, on the steep cliff, Xuanhuan held the Qingang knife and swung it one move at a time on the top of the mountain. Yi Fan not only activated Xuanhuan's top-grade spiritual roots before, but also left many attack methods in his mind. So, Xuanhuan chose a sword technique he liked and practiced it, stacked wave sword technique, as the name suggests. This sword technique is like a wave, with great force and heavy power, and it can be continuously stacked. If it is practiced to the realm of transformation, it can even split the sun, moon and stars. Puff puff puff. As Xuanhuan swung every time, the phantom of the waves even appeared around him. Xuanhuan, who is in the battle soul realm, can now stack up to the 7th level of waves, relying on the power of this stacking. Xuanhuan, who is now only in the 1st level of battle soul, can even kill high-level battle soul cultivators. Xuanhuan exhaled a long breath and put away the bronze knife. Well, now my swordsmanship has been a small success. It's time to tell my father this good news. Xuanhuan was looking forward to his father, seeing how relieved he would be after his transformation. Just as he put away the knife and returned to his residence, a servant of the Song family ran over. Xuanhuan, when your father came back from picking herbs, he was held hostage by robbers. Robbers. Chapter 34 Killing 3 times in and out. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 34 Kill 3 in and 3 out. There is indeed a group of bandits gathered at the southern foot of Gudao Domain. Read that in fact, because Tanishima is located overseas, pirates gather at the airport, because the terrain at the southern foot was difficult and easy to defend but difficult to attack. This group of pirates developed into a team of nearly 1,000 people in a short period of time. This group of pirates is not only large in number, but the leader is a monk in the Fighting Soul realm. This group of pirates usually make a living by robbing passing ships and rarely cause trouble on the island. Why? Did they directly kidnap members of the Song family this time? Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. Circled M. No, I have to save my father. Since the pirates dare to cause trouble on the island, they must be in a hurry. It is winter now, and there are fewer cargo ships passing by on the sea. I'm afraid these pirates haven't been open for a while. Xuanhuan knew that all these pirates were extremely vicious people. Now that my father has been kidnapped by them, can he still be safe? At that moment, Xuanhuan no longer hid his strength. He drew out his green steel sword, and his fighting soul aura was completely revealed. After shouting, he shot towards the southern foot of Gudao. Seeing this, the Song family servant next to him was completely confused. I didn't have a hallucination just now, did I? Isn't Xuanhuan a third-rate servant of the Song family? He actually has the strength of the fighting spirit realm. No, I must be too tired recently, so I'm hallucinating while riding a horse. The servant cursed and left Xuanhuan's residence. At the same time, he did not forget to report to the head of the Song family. On the other side, the Song family's mansion welcomed a rare guest today, the elder Kuching of the main branch of the Song family. The Song family in the Gudao domain is just a branch of the Song family, and the head of the family only needs the strength of the fighting spirit realm. The main branch of the Song family is not actually on this island. It's just that this guest elder had nothing to do, so he came to this island to play. Seeing the guest elders from the head branch of the Song family arriving, the head of the Song family showed up in person to receive them. In the most luxurious main hall of the Song family, the head of the Song family looked flattering and said to the elder guest Qing on the side, "Elder Zhao, it is rare for you to come here this time. You might as well spend more time here. I want to taste the specialties of our Gudao region. We have a new batch of fox girls. Do you think they will be sent to your room?" Fox princess is a type of monster. They are not powerful themselves, but they are good at the art of fox charm. After human monks tame them, they usually serve and play with them as maids. Obviously, Gudao Domain has done a very mature job in domesticating the fox princess. After all, Gudao Domain is a place rich in fox princess monsters in Beizhou, the reason why the head of the sending family was so flattering to this guest elder. In addition to its own powerful strength, it is a half-step warrior king. At the same time, this elder Kaching is from the main branch. The head of the Song family naturally hopes that he can say a few nice words for him in front of the head of the family. In this case, the Song family in the Gudao region can get more resources every year. Elder Kaching was indifferent to the words of the Song family leader. He waved his hand and said, "We will talk about tasting the specialties later. Song family leader, have you discovered any treasures in your recent jurisdiction?" Treasure. Hearing this, the head of the Song family couldn't help but be stunned. "Elder Zhao, I have never seen any treasure." The head of the Song family replied, "Where did the treasure come from in this remote and barren area of Gudao Domain?" At this moment, a servant suddenly ran in from outside the main hall. "Something bad has happened. Head of the Song family, pirates from the southern foot of the Gudao Domain have kidnapped many of our servants who collected medicine, saying that they want the head of the family to exchange for Fox Princess. The Song family has this unique method of taming Fox Princess, so it's difficult for these pirates to take it seriously. You know, this kind of tamed Fox Princess monster can not only be kept for your own enjoyment, but can also be sold in the market. Damn it! I keep these fox concubines to honor my distinguished guests. How can I exchange them for them?" The head of the Song family said angrily. In fact, the head of the Song family deliberately said this to Elder Zhao on the side. He wanted to use Elder Zhao's help to arrest this pirate so that he would not continue to cause trouble in his jurisdiction. But what the Song family leader didn't expect was that Elder Zhao on the side didn't intend to care at all, and still drank tea calmly. Seeing this, the head of the Song family fell down. At this moment, the servant below spoke again. Master Song, I may be too tired recently, so I want to take a few days off to rest. Just now when I went to inform my master Ding Zongliang, I actually had the illusion that Zongliang was in the fighting spirit realm, that as soon as he finished speaking, before the head of the Song family could react, Elder Zhao stood up with a sudden sound. Take me there quickly, Elder Zhao was shocked. In fact, he did not come here just for fun, but recently, Elder Zhao sensed that there was a spiritual energy in this island, which resonated with the spiritual energy in his body. Elder Zhao is also an innate spiritual root holder, so he can advance to the current half-step War King, but Elder Zhao himself knew that his innate spiritual root was just a defective product. If he can't get any other adventures, then Elder Zhao will have to stop at being a half-step War King for the rest of his life. I think there must be good quality innate spiritual roots born in Gudao domain, so I can sense it. If I can get this kid's spiritual roots, I might be able to directly break through the King of War. Elder Zhao was very excited, but he pretended to be calm. This group of pirates in the southern foot of Gudao actually dared to provoke my Song family. The head of the Song family leads the way. This time I must destroy him. Elder Zhao, the head of the Song family, was stunned, not knowing what was wrong with Elder Zhao. He just looked like he didn't care about it, but now he was so excited. However, the head of the Song family didn't think much about it and quickly took Elder Zhao with him. With the half-step War King realm, this group of pirates who had given him a headache for a long time were in trouble this time. Let's not talk about Elder Zhao's ecstasy for now, just say that Zongliang heard that his father was detained by pirates, and he broke into the pirates' mountain gate with a single knife. The reason why this group of pirates gave the head of the Song family a headache was mainly because the leader was powerful and was a mid-level warrior. In addition, he had so many minions, therefore, the head of the Song family had no way to deal with them. But all this is not a difficult task for Zongliang, you know. Zongliang has already advanced to the Battle Soul realm, and has also cultivated the Dailang sword technique to a small degree. With the best spiritual roots, Zongliang's speed of recovering spiritual energy is abnormal. He just consumed most of his spiritual energy to make a move, and the Dantian spirit sea was quickly replenished. It can be said that it was replenished in seconds, relying on the advantage of the best spiritual roots. Zongliang killed 3 times in the pirate's nest. Hearing the shouting and killing outside, the leader of the pirates also came out. Chapter 35, Kneeling and asking the ancestors to show their magical powers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 35, Kneeling to ask the ancestors to show their magical powers. Southern foot of Gudao, Zongliang was holding a single knife and was killing vigorously in the pirate's nest. Suddenly, a breath of energy locked on him. Fighting Soul Realm. Zongliang's face did not change. It seemed that the leader of this group of pirates had come out. He had already inquired before coming and knew that the leader of this group of pirates was a cultivator of the 6th level of Fighting Soul. Although Zongliang was only at the 1st level of Fighting Soul now, he was not afraid at all. Tai, where did you come from, short-lived ghost, dare to be presumptuous here? The pirate leader shouted. Then, the pirate leader came towards Zongliang with a machete. He saw clearly just now that the kid opposite was only at the 1st level of Fighting Soul. With his mid-level Fighting Soul strength, he could probably kill him in a few minutes, but it was indeed a kill in a second. But he was killed in a second by Zongliang. The pirate leader raised his sword and looked at Zongliang, but the next moment, a half-moon-shaped arc of sea wave light cut off the pirate leader's head. With just one sword, Zongliang killed the pirate leader of the 6th level of Fighting Spirit. The seemingly ordinary and casual sword was actually the 7th use of Zongliang's overlapping wave sword technique. When fighting with the minions just now, Zongliang accumulated the power of 6 times. Coincidentally, this scene was seen by Elder Zhao and his group who had just arrived. Fuck, isn't that Zongliang? When did he become so powerful? That when the head of the Song family saw the scene just now, his jaw almost dropped to the ground in shock. It seems that the servant just now did not have hallucinations. Zongliang is really a monk in the Fighting Spirit realm. And he is a Fighting Spirit realm that can kill a middle-level Fighting Spirit with one sword. This Zongliang's strength is obviously only the 1st level of Fighting Spirit, but he can burst out with such combat power. Not only was the head of the Song family shocked, but the servants beside him were also stunned. is this still the timid servant Xuanhuan they knew before? Everyone was in deep shock, and the leader, Elder Zhao, showed a greedy look. He was at the half-step War King realm, and his speed was much faster than everyone else. Therefore, everyone only saw the last knife that Xuanhuan swung, but not the previous 6 knives. However, this knife technique with superimposed power was seen by Elder Zhao, as a cultivator with innate spiritual roots. Although it was only a defective innate spiritual root, but he knew this kind of system very well. Among the countless systems evolved by the 3,000 great ways, only those with innate spiritual roots can restore the spiritual energy consumed in the body in a short time. Looking at the 6 knives that Xuanhuan swung before, each time he instantly restored the spiritual energy consumed in the body, and the power was so amazing. I am afraid that Xuanhuan's physique has far surpassed the innate spiritual root and reached the level of the best spiritual root. If Elder Zhao could dig out Xuanhuan's root bones and install them on himself, I'm afraid he could take off directly, and upgrading to the War King realm is also within reach. Not only the War King realm, with the advantage of the top-grade spiritual roots, it's probably possible to reach the War Emperor realm, or even higher realms. By the way, there is also the stacking wave sword technique that Xuanhuan just used, which must be snatched away. How can such a superior sword technique be possessed by a servant? Just when everyone had different thoughts and their own ghosts. Xuanhuan had already dealt with the remaining pirates in the mountain stronghold. After killing these pirates, Xuanhuan's first thought was to rescue his father. The pirates built many prisons with wood on the open space on the sea. Xuanhuan ran to the prison and saw his father Xuanhai at a glance. Immediately, Xuanhuan circulated the spiritual energy in his body and shattered all the prisons that bound Xuanhai. "Father, your son is here to save you." Seeing his father, who had not eaten or drunk for several days and was exhausted, Xuanhuan shouted. The weak Xuanhai opened his eyes and saw his son Xuanhuan. "Son, why are you here? Run quickly. There are many pirates here. You are not their opponent." Xuanhai saw Xuanhuan and said anxiously. Xuanhuan shook his head slightly and said, "Don't worry, father. I have killed all these pirates. Let's go." "Father, you are weak. I'll carry you on my back." Just like that, Xuanhai was carried on Xuanhuan's back and began to rush to his residence. Looking at the corpses of pirates all over the ground, Xuanhai was shocked. "Son, you really didn't lie to me. These pirates were all killed by you." Xuanhuan nodded heavily. "Father, my son is now a fighting spirit monk." Fighting spirit monk. Just as Xuanhai was shocked, Xuanhuan felt a little hairy in his heart. He couldn't tell why, but he always felt that someone was always locking on him. The reason for this feeling must be that the person hiding in the dark is much stronger than him. Don't stay in a place of right and wrong for a long time. At that moment, Xuanhuan was ready to run to his residence, pack his luggage, and then get away. "Shameless villain, look up and see who I am." A shout came from Xuanhuan's ear. Hearing this, Xuanhuan raised his head and found a half-step War King floating in the void. Looking at the man's clothes, Xuanhuan knew that he was the elder of the Song family. "Are you the elder of the Song family? I have met you before. Why are you insulting me for no reason?" Xuanhuan said angrily. Who would have thought? Elder Zhao, who was suspended in the air, ignored Xuanhuan at all. He lowered his head and said to the head of the Song family below, "Head of the Song family, this villain was originally my disciple, but he betrayed his master and ancestors, stole my secret book and hid here. Head of the Song family, I will take him back to punish him. Do you have any objection?" Hearing this, the head of the Song family smiled and said, "Elder Zhao, please do as you please. I have no objection. I have long seen that this servant is not a good person." Although he said so on the surface, the head of the Song family was actually sneering in his heart. "Aren't you, Elder Zhao, just coveting other people's treasures? What are you talking to me about?" Seeing that Xuanhuan has become so powerful, let alone Elder Zhao, even the head of the Song family has become greedy. It's a pity that Elder Zhao is too strong. He is a half-step War King. If he really fights, I'm afraid he can't rob him. Get out of here. Xuanhuan cursed at Elder Zhao. No matter how stupid he was, he could see that Elder Zhao was clearly attracted by his skills, so he wanted to snatch him away. "Damn it, although I have broken through to the realm of fighting spirit, I am still inferior to the half-step fighting king. Zongliang sighed inwardly. He was really cruel. I thought that with my own efforts, I could let my father live a good life and rebuild the glory of the Zong family, but, is he going to die here? Father, you go first, I will hold him back. Zongliang sent a voice into Zhong Hai's mind. Just after the voice was sent, Elder Zhao in the sky showed a hint of sarcasm. Want to run? No way. Fix. Elder Zhao stretched out his big hand, and with just a little bit of the void, he fixed Zhong Hai in the distance. Feeling the powerful pressure of Elder Zhao's magic, Zhong Liang's face changed drastically. He knew in his heart that Elder Zhao was far more powerful than he could compare. Boy, hand over the treasure you got obediently, maybe I'll let you and your son live if I'm in a good mood. Elder Zhao sent a message to Zhong Liang's heart. Seeing the crisis and Elder Zhao pressing him, Zhong Liang made up his mind and prepared to use his ultimate move. The next moment, Zhong Liang knelt on the ground suddenly, and shouted, "Kneel down and ask the ancestors to show their magical powers." Puff. Seeing Zhong Liang's appearance, Elder Zhao couldn't help laughing. You are about to die, but you still want your ancestors to save you. How naive. While Elder Zhao was sneering, suddenly a strong wind blew around. The sky was full of dark clouds, thunder and lightning appeared, and the magic power was as vast as Wang Yang, all gathered above Zhong Liang's head. Chapter 36, Distinguishing Gratitude and Resentment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 36, Clear Grudges. The power of thunder and lightning gathered in the sky above Zhong Liang. The next moment, the stars were moving in the sky, and just a moment ago it was still the scorching sun. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a sky full of stars. In the waning moon hanging in the sky, a star slowly floated out. The star points moved from far to near, and after a while, the true appearance appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Wearing a moon-white robe, he moved without wind, his eyes were starry, and his whole body exuded unparalleled powerful pressure. Writing this, I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network. The immortal clouds are swirling. Mana runes are shining brightly, and the earth is dull. Under this huge pressure, except for Zhong Liang and his son, everyone present could not help but tremble. Because of the strong coercion acting on them, their teeth couldn't help but collide up and down, making a click-click sound. Is it the Ancestor? Welcome Ancestor. But when the moon-white robe flew closer, Zhong Liang finally discovered that it was the Ancestor Yifan, so he quickly knelt down and worshipped. In fact, Zhong Liang only thought of Mark when he was about to die. I didn't expect the Ancestor to really come. Of course, what comes now is not Yifan's true self, but just his thought. This consciousness was left behind when he spied on Zhong Liang and activated his bloodline. Let's look at Elder Zhao's team. When the clone of Yifan landed, Elder Zhao staggered and fell out of the void due to the strong pressure. Not only Elder Zhao, but also everyone else turned to Yifan at this moment. Because only by doing this can the pressure on the body be removed as much as possible and the spiritual sea will not be exploded by the pressure of magic power. You actually summoned your ancestors. Who is this? You can release such terrifying pressure. I'm afraid your strength has already reached that of a war king. That the head of the Song family had a look of fear on his face. He guessed that Yifan was a monk in the war king realm, but even the leader of the Song family would never have imagined that 7 Yifan was actually in the realm of war warriors, and he was also a high-level warrior. Unlike the head of the Song family, Elder Zhao is half-step to the war king realm, although he has not yet reached the war king realm, but he has seen many war king realm monks, so he could tell at a glance that Yifan was definitely not only in the war king realm, but he had already reached the war stage. At this moment, Elder Zhao felt strong regret in his heart. He should have guessed a long time ago that there are experts behind Zhong Liang who will give him guidance. This time I was really careless. Let's say that Yifan floated down from the sky and landed in front of Zhong Liang. He didn't care what Elder Zhao and others were guessing, but waved his hand and lifted up Zhong Liang, who was kneeling on the ground. Hey, your clan was a force that I established in the beginning. How come it has become so desolate now? Yifan sighed slightly, then, with a flick of Yifan's fingers, he untied Zhong Hai who was immobilized next to him. Zhong Liang, these are marrow cleansing pills. There are 2 pills in total. You can give one pill to each of your fathers. Yi Fan threw a medicine bottle into Zhong Liang's hand, and Zhong Liang took it. This marrow-cleansing pill can increase longevity for ordinary people, and it can cleanse tendons and cut marrow for cultivators. Yi Fan said calmly. Hearing what Yi Fan said, Zhong Liang couldn't help but kowtow to Yi Fan a few more times. Thank you, Ancestor. But when Yi Fan handed the elixir to him just now, Zhong Liang just held it in his hand and couldn't help but feel translucent. No need to think about it, it must be a good thing. Hearing Yi Fan's explanation at this moment, Zhong Liang was immediately elated. Elder Zhao and others on the side were horrified when they heard this. They didn't expect that Yi Fan would give him the god-level elixir casually. If this kind of elixir were given to me, I might be able to break through to the King of War realm on my own. Zhong Liang, Ancestor, I am very satisfied that you have advanced to the fighting spirit realm in such a short time. This is the reward you deserve. No need to thank you. Yi Fan said happily to Zhong Liang. Zhong Liang bowed again and said, Zhong Liang, as a servant, all relies on his ancestors, so that he can stand proudly in this world. Although he said this, Zhong Liang's praise of Mark was still as sweet as honey. Yi Fan continued, well, Zhong Liang, you are a good person. After a pause, Yi Fan glanced at Elder Zhao and the others. Zhong Liang, then the Ancestor will help you kill these people. Zhong Liang shook his head. Ancestor, I have never killed a half-step war king since I broke through to the war soul realm. Let me kill this person. Yi Fan would naturally have no objection to Zhong Liang's request. He just nodded and looked at Zhong Liang, then walked step by step to Elder Zhao with a single sword in hand. No, don't kill me. I am the elder of the Song family's guest. If you kill me, the Song family will not let you go. Before Elder Zhao finished speaking, Zhong Liang chopped off a big head. Under the pressure of Yi Fan, a strong man ready for war, Elder Zhao could not resist at all, so he could only use the Song family to scare Zhong Liang. But Zhong Liang has his ancestors here, so naturally he won't be afraid of any nonsense from the Song family. Zhong Liang said, Ancestor, my revenge is over. As for the remaining Song family heads, although they were once enslaved to my father and son, they have no blood feud, so we should let them go. Yi Fan nodded slightly. Ancestor, can I go to the eastern wasteland with you now? Zhong Liang asked. Yi Fan waved his hand, don't rush to Donghuang, go to the mortal world to train first. By the way, the Biopuzzi secret realm in Beizhou is about to open, so you can go there to train. After getting the treasure in the secret realm, come to Donghuang to find me. Zhong Liang knelt down. Yes, I will obey the order of the Ancestor. Yi Fan nodded with a smile, but the figure began to dissipate and become more and more blurred. Seeing this, Zhong Liang and his son knelt down. Ancestor, goodbye. After seeing Yi Fan off, Zhong Liang helped Zhong Hai up and took Zhong Hai away from this area. Seeing that Zhong Liang finally left, the head of the Song family and his men dared to get up from the ground. Wiping the sweat from his forehead, the head of the Song family breathed a sigh of relief. This time, he finally saved his life. Fortunately, he didn't kill Zhong Liang. Donghuang, Xuanhuan Mountain. After Yi Fan's clone disappeared in the Valley Island, his original body was sunbathing in the depths of the 10,000 mountains. Sitting on the rocking chair, Yi Fan sighed while enjoying the sun. I'm afraid that Xiao Yangzi will be fooled again this time. Then this time, there are 3 of my descendants in Biopuzzi's secret realm. I really look forward to what kind of sparks they can create. After a pause, Yi Fan sighed. If my disciples back then were still here, it would be more fun. It's a pity that so much time has passed. I don't know where these ungrateful wolves have gone, and they don't know how to come back to see the master. More than 10,000 years ago, Yi Fan accepted more than 10 disciples, and these more than 10 disciples had different abilities, but one thing is that all of Yi Fan's disciples are amazingly talented. At the beginning, all of these more than 10 disciples jumped out of the East Wasteland, and even the East Continent, and went to various continents to make a living. Although Yi Fan missed these disciples, there were more than hundreds of millions of Daozhou in the God and Demon continent. It was difficult to get a glimpse of the War Emperor realm. Perhaps only when you reach the War Immortal realm can you see all the mountains. Chapter 37 System Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A beach in Baopu Domain, Dongzhou. Read that it is noon now, the hottest time of the day. This area is different from other places, although there are rivers and seas, the weather is much hotter than other places. If you want to live comfortably in such a hot area, fresh water is essential, because although the monks have left the mundane world and can fast, proper eating can make the body and mind more transparent. Beside the beach, a fire was set up, and a kettle was hanging on the fire. It was Xiao Dyer and Xiao Xian who were brewing wine in this ancient way. Xiao Dyer, is your ancient wine brewing really good? I've been waiting for a long time. Xiao Xian sat by the fire and asked lazily. Hearing this, Xiao Dyer said unhappily, "Don't be disrespectful, call me senior sister." "Okay, senior sister, then have you brewed this wine?" Xiao Xian said. Xiao Dyer rolled her eyes. "My ancient brewing method was passed down by our ancestors, I'm sure it will work." While the two were talking, a little fat man suddenly came running from a distance. "Hoo, I'm so tired, why is there someone brewing wine in front of me? It smells so good, I'm afraid it's the best daughter's red wine." That seeing this sudden figure, Xiao Dyer and the others were shocked. This little fat man is so fast. I'm afraid that the War King monster beast, which is known for its swiftness, can't reach this speed. The two men looked up and focused their sight on a little fat man in a Taoist robe. Seeing the two looking at him, Wei Tian smiled. "Little friends, you are still young, you can't learn to drink. Let me help you get rid of this strong liquor, hee." Before he finished speaking, Wei Tian's figure disappeared in the distance. When Xiao Dyer and the others reacted, they saw the fat man holding the wine pot on their fire rack and escaping into the sky. Seeing this, Xiao Xian stood up from the ground with a swoosh. "Where did this bird Taoist priest come from? How dare he steal our things under my nose?" After saying this, Xiao Xian prepared to use the escape technique to chase the fleeing Wei Tian. At this moment, a voice transmission reached the hearts of Xiao Dyer and the others. It's really good wine, little friends, don't dream of chasing me. I've drunk all the wine, but I will make it up to you if I have a chance. The wind is tight, whoosh, whoosh. Hearing Wei Tian's voice transmission, Xiao Dyer and the others' faces changed drastically. Damn, this bird Taoist priest is so fast, he has used the voice transmission of thousands of miles. Xiao Xian knows that if he chases him at this moment, he will not be able to catch up. Seeing that he can't catch up, Xiao Xian has to give up. "You're a fast runner, Taoist bird, or I'll beat the shit out of you," Xiao Xian said viciously. Hearing this, Xiao Dyer shook her head. "Junior brother, this fat Taoist is not ordinary, I'm afraid he has some skills. It's just a pot of wine, forget it." "Sister, don't encourage others to lose your prestige. If I really want to chase him, it will only delay a few minutes," Xiao Xian said unconvinced. Forget it, it's just a pot of wine. It's the same to buy a pot at the market later, but judging from the direction this Taoist is going, I'm afraid he is also heading for Baopu Illusion. There are so many capable people in Baopu Illusion this time, we must be more cautious and not be careless." Xiao Xian rolled his eyes. "Sister, we have the magic weapon of our master, we are not afraid of anything." "Okay, what is it?" Just as Xiao Xian and the others were talking, another figure was seen running rapidly from the sea level. At this time, on the sea level, a young man holding a green steel knife was breaking through the waves. This person was Xuanhuan, who was practicing the stacking wave sword technique while hurrying on his way. Seeing the sea level being lifted up by Xuanhuan, Xiao Xian and the others couldn't help but freeze their faces. This person, what a sharp sword technique. "Senior sister, this sword technique feels very similar to my one-force breaking all methods. Do you think he is also the descendant of Master?" Xiao Xian turned his head and asked Xiao Dyer. Xiao Dyer shook her head. "There are 3,000 great ways, and there are a lot of similar sword techniques, but now that you say so, I am definitely somewhat similar." Not only were Xiao Xian and the others shocked, but Xuanhuan on the sea was also horrified at this moment. He had just been practicing the stacking wave sword technique, and accidentally glanced at Xiao Dyer and the others. "You don't know until you see it, you'll be shocked." When he withdrew his sight from Xiao Dyer and the others, Xuanhuan knew that these two people were also masters. "I'm afraid that their strength will not be much weaker than his," thinking of this, Xuanhuan couldn't help but become serious. It seems that many capable people came to Baopu Fantasy this time, but Xuanhuan still has confidence in himself. Even if there are thousands of troops this time, he will take the treasure back to the Ancestor, East Wilderness, deep in the 10,000 mountains. Yi Fan is still in his paradise, bathing in the sun. He didn't know that his 3 descendants have met in Beizhou now, but what Yi Fan didn't expect was that Wei Tian also came this time. He was enjoying the eye bath here, and suddenly, the system prompt sounded in his mind. Ding! Because the 3 descendants of the host have completed their first meeting, the rewards are issued. Naruto World, Seafood Irika, Naruto World, Hataki Kakashi. Good guy. Hearing the system prompt, Yi Fan jumped up directly from the recliner and said good guy. He never expected that the system would actually connect to the world of Naruto. Yi Fan had always thought that Naruto was just an animation, but he didn't expect that he could really become a character from it. Highway Irika, and his Hataki Kakashi. Yi Fan smacked his lips after coming back to his senses. He remembered that the former was Uzumaki Naruto's first teacher, who taught Naruto the shadow clone technique, and the latter Kakashi was Naruto's teacher when he became a genin, and was good at the lightning cutting technique. Of course, there is also Kakashi's Sharingan. Let's not talk about Irika for now, but Kakashi can become a Hokage. I wonder what level of realm he can reach after descending to this world. While Yi Fan was thinking, 2 ninjas wearing Konoha ninja uniforms landed in front of Yi Fan. Well, they are both at the War King level. As soon as Irika and the other person appeared, Yi Fan saw their realms, both at the War King level, and Kakashi was slightly stronger than Irika. Greetings, sir. Irika and Kakashi shouted respectfully in unison. Yi Fan nodded. Go and help me keep an eye on the Great Xia Kingdom in Zhongzhou. The Great Shang Kingdom that Yi Fan had established before is now dependent on Great Xia, so Yi Fan wants to see the dynamics of Great Xia's attack on the Shang Kingdom. I will obey your order. Hearing the 2 people's response, Yi Fan smiled with satisfaction. There are 2 more tools in the realm of War King, and Yi Fan's mood is suddenly very good. Chapter 38 Not even qualified to carry shoes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhongzhou, the Great Shang Kingdom. Read that in a secret room deep in the main hall, which was glittering with jewels. It was now pitch black. The outside of the main hall was painted with bright yellow paint, and the walls were inlaid with night pearls, and the lights were bright. It formed a sharp contrast with the dimness of the secret room deep in the main hall. Inside the secret room, the dim candlelight barely showed a man's figure. The man was wearing a dragon robe, with a majestic appearance, and a pair of sword-like eyebrows. On his forehead added a bit of majesty and domineering. At first glance, the man knew that he was a person of high status. However, such a person was sitting in a wheelchair at this time, and his strong body was cut off by 2 long legs, which looked particularly tragic. A young woman in palace dress was pushing the man's wooden wheelchair at this moment. The young woman was wearing a phoenix crown and a bridal robe, and it was obvious that she was not ordinary. It was just that the young woman, like the man, was of noble status, but at this moment she looked haggard, fragile and shaky. It seemed that a gust of wind could blow her into the air. The young woman and the man stared at the front. I saw a young girl, with a painful expression, lying on an ice coffin. The girl, who should have been in her prime, was lying in the coffin with an uncomfortable look on her face, and a stream of spiritual energy rushed through her heart. Her little head was covered with countless large and small lumps, like a bunch of bulging blood earthworms. At this time, each of these earthworms was activated, and a faint sound of dragon and phoenix rang out. Every time a sound of dragon and phoenix came out, the girl's face became ugly. On one side of the ice coffin, there was also a big monk twisting Buddhist beads. The big monk twisted the Buddha with one hand and put the other hand on the girl. He was transmitting spiritual energy into the girl's body. Under the blessing of the big monk's dharma, the irritable spiritual energy in the girl's body and the lumps on her head slowly dissipated. But even so, the girl still felt very painful, and the remaining violent spiritual energy in her body was still tormenting her. The monk passed on spiritual energy to the girl for half a day, and then slowly relieved the girl's pain. At this time, the violent spiritual energy in the girl's body and the blood clots on her head all gathered at her brow. It turned into a golden pattern of a phoenix spreading its wings. Seeing that the girl was finally fine, the man and the young woman finally let go of their worries. On the other hand, the monk saw that the girl had returned to normal, so he put his palms together. King, Queen Mother, the violent spiritual energy in the eldest princess body has been suppressed by this monk. I think within 10 days, the eldest princess will not get sick again. 10 days? What will happen after 10 days? The king of Dasheng asked anxiously. Hearing this, the monk shook his head. After 10 days, the backlash of spiritual energy will double, and then this monk will have no way. No way? What does no way mean? Will the eldest princess be tortured to death by the violent spiritual energy? The young woman in palace dress couldn't help asking. The monk opened his mouth and suddenly remembered something, swallowing the words that were about to come out of his mouth. Seeing that the monk was hesitant to speak, the king of Dasheng said, "Master, why should you be shy? Just say it directly." It is like this, the king and queen. In 10 days, the princess's spiritual energy will double backfire. She will not die immediately, but will be tortured to death, and the dragon and phoenix power in her body will be passed on to the person who put the poison. Seeing that he could not hide it, the monk spoke frankly. It turned out to be a poison. Then how can this poison be broken? King, it is true, but... But what? Master, tell me. The king of Dasheng asked anxiously. If you want to resolve this poison, you can only find a monk with more powerful magic than the person who put the poison. The monk replied. Hearing the monk's words, the king of Dasheng was completely desperate. The eyes that were like stars just now also became dim at this moment. It is not easy to find a cultivator who is more powerful than the one who poisoned the woman. The lord of Dasheng knew very well that the one who poisoned the woman was someone he could not shake even with the power of the whole country. The monk shook his head again. I just saw the spiritual sea in the body of the princess. I am afraid she can't last for 10 days, alas. Dashya country, you and I are irreconcilable. That the lord of Dasheng gritted his teeth and roared out this sentence. My little Yaya, why is your life so miserable? The young woman in palace dress next to him cried bitterly. With the voices of grief and anger of the two, the girl in the ice coffin gradually woke up. Father, mother, don't be sad for me. The girl comforted weakly. Seeing the girl suddenly wake up, the 3 people in the secret room were all shocked. They thought they would have to wait for a few days before she woke up. Little Yaya, that the young woman in palace dress could not hide her sadness and burst into tears. The girl in front of her is her daughter, the eldest princess of the great Shang kingdom, Jiang Yuer. The middle-aged man sitting in the wheelchair is the ruler of the great Shang kingdom, Jiang Bo. The young woman in palace dress is the queen mother of the Shang kingdom, Hu Qiner. The man and the young woman saw their daughter wake up, looked at her weak appearance, and looked like she was tortured to death by the disease. Jiang Bo and the others couldn't help but turn their heads away, unable to bear to look any more. Seeing her parents avoiding her gaze, Jiang Yuer asked without hesitation, Father and mother, am I dying? No, little Yaya, your father and I will never let this happen. We will definitely find a way to cure you. You must be strong. Hu Qiner encouraged. Hearing this, Jiang Yuer smiled bitterly and shook her head. She knew her body well. At this time, the poison had invaded her heart, and she was afraid that she might die at any time. Father, Queen and Mother, I really miss the old days. Before I leave this world, I want to see the sunshine outside again. Jiang Yuer's childish voice sounded again. Jiang Yuer's words completely hurt the hearts of Jiang Bo and Jiang Bo. Jiang Bo, the leader of the great Shang dynasty, had his eyes broken. Thinking that his daughter was about to pass away in the mood for love, the anger in his heart could not stop flooding into his brain. Dashya kingdom, you are so cruel, you actually attack such an innocent girl. I, Jiang Bo, swear by my position as the leader of the great Shang kingdom that I will destroy your Xia kingdom one day. Jiang Bo said angrily. It is said that a daughter is her father's little cotton-padded jacket. When Jiang Yuer was dying, she did not forget to comfort her father. Ahem, father, the Xia kingdom is so powerful, it is better not to avenge your daughter. I have been weak and sick since I was a child, and I have been a burden to my father. It would not be a bad thing if I died. Daughter, you don't know. In fact, you are the only genius in cultivation. It's just that the great Xia kingdom has poisoned you. Jiang Bo said loudly. Then, Jiang Bo told Jiang Yu the history of the Shang kingdom. More than 10,000 years ago, the Shang state was the most powerful country in Beizhou. It's just that after the ancestors left, the talents of the Shang kingdom withered, and it became worse day by day. Daughter, don't look at the current northern wasteland. Daxia's national power ranks first, but more than 10,000 years ago, it was not even qualified to carry shoes for my Shang country. Chapter 39 How to Kill a Warrior Monk. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 39 How to Kill a War-Ready Monk. Father, according to what you said, the one who poisoned me is the Xia kingdom. Jiang Yuer said doubtfully. Jiang Bo nodded and said, to be precise, it was done by some people with ulterior motives in Xia kingdom. Jiang Yuer was a little puzzled. In her opinion, the Xia kingdom was the largest country in the northern wilderness. The Shang kingdom was just one of his affiliated kingdoms. If Xia Guo wanted to deal with them, all he had to do was issue an edict, so why waste so much effort? Jiang Bo saw his daughter's confusion, so he explained to her, yes, the Xia kingdom is indeed countless times stronger than our Shang kingdom. But since the founding of the Shang kingdom, countless people with outstanding physiques have been born. These people are either born with dragon bodies or with phoenix bodies. They are geniuses in the way of cultivation. The so-called natural dragon body, or natural phoenix body, it is only possible to conceive among the descendants of the lord of a country. This is because of the blessing of the power of faith of the whole country. The Xia kingdom is different from the Shang kingdom. Although its national power is strong, over the years, it has become more and more powerful. In his country, a monk blessed by national power has never been born. It is precisely because the Xia kingdom covets the cultivation geniuses in our Shang kingdom that they set up a witchcraft to secretly harm you. Jiang Bo explained to Jiang Yuer. After listening to Jiang Bo's explanation, Jiang Yu was still a little confused. Why did Xia Guo poison me? Is it just because of jealousy? Princess, you don't understand, this poison from Xia kingdom can transfer your supreme physique to the caster. The great monk on the side interrupted. It's not just you, the eldest princess. Over the years, the Xia kingdom has used sorcery to harm many princes and princesses in our Shang kingdom. According to ancient records, there were 50 princes and 49 princesses harmed by the Xia kingdom. That the art of the world is most perfect with 100, the Xia kingdom has harmed almost 100 Shang princes and princesses over the years. If Jiang Yuer is assassinated by Xia Guo again, Xia Guo will be able to completely gather the number of 100 this time, thus taking the national power to a higher level. By then, Daxia will gain an even more powerful power of faith. Therefore, it can be said that Xia Guo is bound to get the phoenix bloodline in Jiang Yuer's body this time. As long as Jiang Yuer's luck is taken away from her body, Xia Guozhong will not only have another cultivation genius, moreover, this country can soar into the sky. Even becoming a fourth-grade dynasty is not a problem. The dynasties of the gods and demons continent are arranged from weak to strong, from the first rank to the 9th rank. Jiang Yuer could not imagine that Xia kingdom had taken away so many princes and princesses from Shang kingdom in these years. As the last target of the Xia kingdom, she was probably doomed to a tragic fate as soon as she was born. Xia Guo wants to improve the country's fortune, and she, Jiang Yuer, is destined to become a victim. Thinking of this, Jiang Yuer felt unprecedented unwillingness, sadness and anger, but what can she do no matter how unwilling she is? The Xia kingdom is so powerful that it cannot be matched by the Shang kingdom. Instead of showing your discomfort, it is better to accept your fate calmly. In this way, the father, the queen and the queen will not be so sad. When the young woman in palace clothes saw her daughter holding back her tears, her heart was as sharp as a knife. Master, Lord, you must find a way to save Yuer. I wonder if the Xia kingdom is so despicable. Do they really want us? Will Yuer use it as a wedding dress for him? If this is really the case, then I will not rest in peace even if I die. That the great monk recited the Buddha's name and said comfortingly, my condolences to the mother of the country. The eldest princess is destined to be like this, and it cannot be done by human beings. That the leader of the country, Jiang Bo, let out a long sigh, tears welling up in his eyes. Suddenly, he caught a glimpse of a token on the side of the secret room with a large 4 engraved on it. If the ancestor is still there, then maybe Yuer can still have a chance of survival. However, the ancestor has been away from the Shang kingdom for tens of thousands of years. How can we find traces of the ancestor? Besides, the Xia kingdom is at its peak and has the support of the Supreme Emperor, who is at the third level of war. Even if he can find his ancestor, that's not necessarily his opponent. The Xia kingdom's third-level war-ready emperor was also the great elder of the starry Holy Land in the northern wilderness. Starlight Holy Land is the strongest holy land in the northern wilderness. It is precisely because of this relationship that Xia kingdom has been able to develop so rapidly in these years. You know, there are not even a few warriors in the War King realm in the Shang kingdom, so how can they resist the existence of the third-level warrior? Jiang Bo fell into deep despair. As a monarch, he had never felt so powerless. Eastern Wasteland, 100,000 mountains. Hatake Kakashi and Irika told Yi Fan exactly what they heard from Xuanhuan. Both of them are Jounin who are good at ninjutsu. The Sharingan used by Kakashi can see scenes thousands of miles away, but Irika used the acceleration ninjutsu, which can cooperate with Kakashi's Sharingan to burst out even more speed. When Irika's auxiliary skills are added to Kakashi's Sharingan, it was a match made in heaven, because in addition to making people fall into hallucinations, the Sharingan also has a detective function. And Irika's acceleration ninjutsu makes the Sharingan's detection function even faster. After listening to the report of the two people, Mark showed a trace of anger on his face. How dare you, a member of the great Xia kingdom, to assassinate a member of the royal family of our Shang kingdom, that the strongest person in the Xia kingdom is only at the third level of the warring stage. From the perspective of Yi Fan, a high-level warring stage monk, he can be destroyed in just a few seconds, like an ant. It seems that I have stayed in 100,000 mountains for too long, and the world has forgotten my existence. In Yi Fan's eyes, the East Continent is definitely his own territory, not to mention a small Beihuang Xia kingdom. It was like this more than 10,000 years ago, and it is still the same today. Once Yi Fan comes out of the mountain, who dares to claim to be invincible and undefeated? A mere third-level warrior dares to harm the forces that Yi Fan founded back then. This has touched Yi Fan's bottom line. At that moment, Yi Fan decided to go to Shang Kingdom. Irika, Kakashi, you two will go with me this time. I want to see what means this Xia Kingdom's third-level warrior emperor has to harm my descendants. Yi Fan ordered. My lord, I am happy to serve you. Irika and Kakashi said respectfully. I will definitely kill that so-called emperor. Irika echoed. Hearing this, Yi Fan sighed. Hey, you are only a low-level war king, how can you kill a war candidate cultivator? Yi Fan shook his head, feeling a little disappointed. Now most of his subordinates are war kings, and there are no war candidate cultivators at all. Such combat power is still a little weak. If there were no useful people under his command, Yi Fan would not have to go there in person this time. Isn't it just a third-level war candidate? Once these pets in Yi Fan's zoo grow up, they can control this so-called emperor. Unfortunately, his pets have not grown up yet. Fortunately, the system has revived again. When my descendants are cultivated, I can reach the War King realm. At that time, I can step out of Beizhou and travel freely between the gods and demons continent. Chapter 40 The Secret Realm Opens. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 40 The Secret Realm Opens, Taiwan Novel Network. Point two flowers bloom, one on each side. Red. Let's not mention Yi Fan's anger for the moment. Let's talk about Baopu territory. Xiao Dyer and Xiao Xian, after rushing non-stop, finally arrived in front of Baopu's secret realm. This secret realm is very interesting. Next to the only entrance, there are actually cracks in time and space. The space-time rift is a very important thing. It is a kind of terrifying existence that is formed because the space in one place is unstable and overlaps with other spaces. If someone accidentally touches a space-time rift, their body will be cut apart on the spot and they will die suddenly. Even if the War King cultivator encounters such a space-time rift, he will avoid it, because of the existence of time and space rifts. All the treasure hunters who can enter the Baopu's secret realm this time are the best among people. Although their realm is not high, each of them has special skills. Some of them come from a certain holy land, or from an undefeated dynasty, or from some thousand-year-old family. Those who don't have a background and treasures at the bottom of the box wouldn't dare to come here. This is just the first entrance to the secret realm. But there is such a terrifying existence as a space-time rift. Who knows what dangers there are? Many people thought of retreating when they saw the cracks in time and space, although many people left in the end, there were still a lot of people gathered on the platform at the first entrance to the Biopuzzi secret realm. It was as busy as a market. After all, Biopuzzi is a monk in the war-ready realm, and there are still quite a few monks who want to get the treasure in his hands. Sister, please hold my stick, so that we won't be separated by the crowd. Xiao Xian turned to Xiao Dyer and said, it is estimated that the secret realm will be opened soon, and more people are pouring in now. In order to worry about being crowded out after a while, Xiao Xian took out a small wooden stick from his arms and asked Xiao Dyer to grab it. Hearing this, Xiao Dyer shook her head. Junior brother, don't worry. Although there are many people here, I just took a look. It's just a bunch of people. Even if we are alone, we can kill them easily. Xiao Xian somewhat agreed with Xiao Dyer's words. Others might think Xiao Dyer's words were arrogant, but Xiao Xian felt that they were said while hugging her. Judging from the means given to them by their ancestors, they are indeed far superior to the people in front of them. Not only were the treasures on his body unmatched by the people around him, but the physiques of Xiao Xian and the two of them were far superior to those present. You know, those are the most powerful among the 3,000 physiques of Tao. How can the bunch of country bumpkins in front of me compare? Hey, junior brother, it seems we have met that person before. Xiao Dyer said in surprise. Following Xiao Dyer's gesture, Xiao Xian saw at a glance a fat Taoist priest who was being chased and beaten. Senior sister, this Taoist priest stole wine from us on the beach before, you forgot. Hey, damn fat man, come drink with me. Xiao Xian turned around and introduced Xiao Dyer, then shouted to Wei Tian. Little friend, what are you drinking? Go home and drink milk, hee. Wei Tian, who was dodging left and right in the crowd, took some time to reply to Xiao Xian. Hearing Wei Tian's words, Xiao Xian was so angry that he almost took out the small leaves given by Yi Fan. However, more and more people were chasing Wei Tian, and Wei Tian had already fled. Where did the Taoist priests come from to rob our treasures? Grandpas, stop. One of the people chasing Wei Tian shouted this. Naturally, Wei Tian would not let these catch up with him, and he would run away without a trace as soon as he greased the soles of his feet. Wu Liang is a heavenly master. How can you call it robbing among cultivators? It's just borrowing. Just treat it as borrowed by me from you. When the Tao master gets tired of playing with it, he will return it naturally. Wei Tian used the sound transmission technique from thousands of miles away. Seeing Wei Tian say this, the group of people chasing after him almost exploded their lungs with anger. Xiao Xian's eyes twitched. This Taoist priest is really shameless. Not only Xiao Xian felt this way, but Xiao Dyer also curled her lips and muttered, this little Taoist priest is so shameless, so his master must be even more shameless. Yi Fan, who was thousands of miles away, sneezed without warning. He couldn't help but feel a little strange. Could it be that someone was talking about me behind my back? Xiao Dyer didn't know that she scolded her ancestor by the way. At the same time, the secret realm of Biopuzzi was finally opened. I saw a crack in time and space at the entrance, and a shadow appeared inadvertently. Shuiying formed a magic formula and then soared up and flew to the void in the field. Baopu secret realm is officially opened. All monks below the War King level can enter. If you can break through the secret realm, you will receive my lifelong inheritance. The phantom spit out thunderous sounds that shook the brains of the monks below. At this point, the entrance to Biopuzzi's secret realm is like a frying pan, like a pot of boiling water, completely boiling. Has Biopuzzi's secret realm finally been opened? This is the inheritance of the war monks, so they can't help but be excited. If there was anyone who could remain calm in the venue, it was Xiao Dyer, Xiao Xian, Wei Tian and Zhong Liang. 3 of these 4 people are descendants of Yi Fan. They got Yi Fan's supreme treasure, so naturally they were not interested in a wartime inheritance. This time they came here solely for the purpose of gaining experience, and the fat Taoist priest Wei Tian only came here to please Yi Fan and see if he could find some treasures. Besides, this Baopuzzi had some relationship with Yi Fan in the past, and the two of them usually didn't get along. Wei Tian came this time to avenge the old grudge, and to turn his mausoleum upside down. After Baopuzzi's phantom introduction, the Baopuzzi secret realm in front was opened. Then, everyone rushed into the gate of the secret realm. You know, this is the inheritance of the battle-waiting monks, and these people can't help but be tempted. Junior brother, we have to hurry in. Xiao Dyer immediately took Xiao Xian and the two walked in side by side. Zongliang just stepped across the time rift and saw a crowd of people rushing into the Baopuzi secret realm. It's just a bunch of rotten fish and shrimp. I'm afraid that the only ones who can be my opponents this time are the boy and the girl. When Zongliang was thinking, a fat Taoist priest suddenly appeared beside him. Young man, are you interested in joining forces? No, bye. Zongliang didn't even look at Wei Tian, and walked directly towards the secret realm. Looking at Zongliang's resolute back, Wei Tian seemed to remember something. This kid has some of the style of the master in the past. Alas, I don't know how the master is doing now. After I loot the treasures of Baopuzi, the old Taoist, I have to go find the master quickly. After Yifan left the East Wilderness, he came to the territory of the Shang Kingdom in Beizhou. This is the land outside the Shangqing, and the wind and sand can't hide Yifan's sadness. The sea has changed into mulberry fields. I remember that this was a prosperous capital city in the past. The former prosperous capital city has become the current desert phoenix smoke, which makes Yifan sigh. On the other side, the assassins sent by the Xia Kingdom have arrived near the palace of the Shang Kingdom. Sword Saint Venerable, this time it all depends on you. The envoy of the Xia Kingdom said. The assassin from Xia country, who was wearing night clothes, heard this and waved his hand slightly. It's just a trivial matter, not worth mentioning.